Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I forgot to bring my shield back out. Oh my... So, it's been a little bit over a month since Shadow of the Erdtree came out, and I've always been obsessed with Souls games. I've always played them and 100%ed them. I've 100%ed Sekiro, I've 100%ed DS1, I've even 100%ed the Souls-likes not made by FromSoft, like Lies of P and Another Crab's Treasure. And after finishing the DLC, it really made me want to play Elden Ring again. And I've never really done a challenge run, so I thought I'd try and do it at level 1 without ever really getting that good at the game, since all I would do is get a bigger sword and stance break all the enemies in my first run. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Anyways, the rules for this challenge are very simple. I must stay at level 1, cannot level up. I'm allowed to use talismans that can raise my levels, and I'm allowed to use the physic that can raise my level. And no glitches. So yeah, let's get into the actual run now. So obviously the first thing we have to do is make our character, who I have funnily named Tyke Mycen, as you saw from the weapon I'm going to be using in the thumbnail later in the video. Yeah, I think you get the joke. We then run up to the Grafted Scion, turn left and jump off the cliff because we ain't dealing with that shit. Lay unconscious as Torrent and Malenia approach us, and then finally wake up with our flasks. We then run through the Cave of Knowledge to kill Rick, Soldier of God, for the shits and giggles, take the elevator up, and then open the door to Lingrave. Anyways, we get the first grace of the game, get called Maidenless by Vare. Stupid bitch. We jump down the cliff, kill Tree Sentinel on like my 4th try because I've been rusty since I haven't played the base game in like 2 years. Run over to the site of grace where we can finally meet Malenia, where she tells me she wants me to become her tier 3 Twitch sub, and then we can finally get Torrent. Anyways, now that we have Torrent, it's time for everyone's favorite part of every run, running around for 2 hours and collecting things. And the first thing we get is the Whetstone Blade that we will be using later to change Ashes of Wars. We then run over to the 3rd Church of America to pick up our physic, go over to the Everjail and Limgrave to kill Darrowil for our first weapon. We'll be using the Bloodhound's Fang. And then finally we go pick up our Strength Not Crystal Tier, which we will need to wield Bloodhound's Fang to first kill Margit and then the enemy holding our weapon of choice later in Liurnia. Next we pull up to this guy sitting on his horse on the edge of the cliff to kill him for the Ash of War Golden Bow, which increases our damage and defenses for a short duration. We then run over to Patch's cave to get Margit shackles, so first we need to kill the invader that first spawns in front of his cave, run through his cave, make him surrender, and then we can finally buy the shackle off of him. After buying Margit's shackle from Patches, we run over to this minor Erdtree in Mistwood to pick up the Spiked Crack tier to increase my charge attack damage. We go get the Axe Talisman, and then we finally go get Flame Grant Me Strength in Caelid before talking to Malenia so she can finally take us to the Round Table Hold. We leave the Round Table Hold fairly quickly as we only came here to put Golden Bow on our dagger. We then return to the open world, run around Stormvale to enter Liurnia early, go get the Bloodflame Blade incantation, and then we go back to Sellia to light the 3 fires to enter Grail's Dragon Barrow, pick up Radagon's Sword Seal, and then we pick up the Dexterity Not Crystal Tier and the 2 Fingers Heirloom, which we will need to cast Flame Grant Me Strength, and now we can go fight everyone's favorite omen for the first time again, Margit. I hope my buffs aren't going while this is happening. Anyways, my first few attempts don't go well because, as I said at the beginning of this video, I have not played the base game in literally over 2 years, so yeah. I died about 5 times to Margit, but I finally got him on my 6th try, and I will here show the full attempt. Just as Blood Flame ran out too. Now that Margit's dead, I think we all know what time it is. It's time for Elden Ring's first legacy dungeon, Stormveil Castle. Unfortunately, there are a few things we actually do need to go gather before we go into Stormveil, but the first thing we go to get is arguably the most important thing in the run, as it's the weapon we will be using until we enter Leyndell, and that is the Iron Fist from killing Big Bogger in Liurnia. We then go back to Caelid to pick up the Ash of War Cragblade, which we will be using to increase our damage overall during boss fights, and we finally go kill this Crystallion in this cave to get the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 1, so we can return to the Round Table Hold, upgrade our weapon, and then go back to Stormveil and kill Godstuck after he opens the main gate, because nobody likes Godstuck. Anyways, since we decided to take the main gate instead of the side entrance into Stormveil, the run through is actually fairly quick, as we just literally ignore all the enemies and the ballistas, run through every area of Stormveil, rest the Site of Grace in front of Godrick, and then just buff up, and yeah, it's time to fight our first Remembrance boss, Godrick the Grafted.
I am the Lord of all that is golden.
I'm not gonna lie, Godrick is like really easy, so it actually only takes me until my third try to beat him. But the first two tries, yeah, I just had completely forgotten what he did. But anyways, here's the full successful attempt on this boss. Third try. I can't tell if my buff is running out.
Bathed in rays of gold.
Definitely is. First remembrance out of 26. Uh-oh. As you saw from that montage, the second Remembrance boss we will be going for is Renalla in Raya Lucaria. However, the first thing we do when re-entering Liurnia is run over to the Caria Manor, run through the manor, kill Loretta on like my third try, go up to Ranni's Rise. She asked me to become her OnlyFans subscriber, and I tell her that I'll gladly do so. Now, we needed to do this to start Ranni's questline, as one of the Remembrance bosses we need to fight later on is actually locked behind it. Anyways, we go back towards the beginning of Liurnia to talk to Raya, who will give us an invitation that we actually need once we get to Altus that will teleport us straight to Volcano Manor instead of having to climb up Mount Gelmir. We then go get the Academy Glintstone key behind the Glintstone Dragon, and then we take the gate that takes us right to the front gates of Raya Lucaria. Once we get through the front gates of Raya Lucaria, we go up the elevator, I-frame through all these stupid magicians' attacks, run through all the enemies, unfortunately die. However, we make it back on the second run through, and then we run past all the enemies once again after going up the elevator to fight the Red Wolf of Radahn, which I kill on like my 8th try, since he's a fairly easy boss. We run past the falling giant ball of metal, run past Carrion Knight Moongrim, and now we can finally start our fight with our second remembrance boss of the run, Renalla, Queen of the Full Moon.
I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh and pure.
Anyways, Renalla's first phase is very easy, as I can literally just one-cycle her. However, it's her second phase that I always have a little bit of trouble with, but it wasn't that hard since the boss fight only took me 8 tries, and here is the full successful attempt once again. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. I hate magic. Magic is so fucking cringe. Thank god she is dead. And that is 2 out of 26. Holy shit. Now, Starscourge Radahn is obviously the third Remembrance boss we are going to be tackling, but there are a few things we do need to go do before heading over to Redmain in Caelid, and the first thing is actually going to get the other half of the Dectus Medallion in Fort Height in Limgrave, because I forgot to get it at the beginning of the run, like an idiot, and then next we head over to the actual lift so we can take it up to Altus Plateau, which actually starts the Radahn Festival so we can even fight him in the first place. We talk to Raya, who takes us to Volcano Manor so we can get the Grace there so we won't have to run back later, we can just teleport there. We then fight the Demi-Human Queen to get the Ritual Sword Talisman, which increases our damage by 10% when we're at maximum HP. And then finally, we go into this cave in Altus to get the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 2, so we can head to the Round Table Hold, finally upgrade our weapon to plus 16, and now we can head over to Redmain, take the teleporter over, and start our fight with General Starscourge Radahn. Anyways, Radahn is like a medium difficulty fight. He took me about 15 tries, and I'm not gonna lie, one of the most annoying things I was figuring out at the beginning was trying to not get hit by his arrows that would one-shot me. But I just used this little trick where if you go into the fight and immediately run backwards until he's off screen, it'll like despawn him, and then if you walk back towards him, he'll just run at you without shooting his arrows. And the way I learned to fight him was to literally just bait out this one move that would give me 3 free easy hits every single time and just dodge everything else. But yeah, here is the successful attempt of Radahn. my fucking god. I don't think you guys understand just how fucking... Oh my, I was playing that so safe. Holy shit. Radahn took so much longer than he should have. Holy shit. He took me like 15 tries. Now with Radahn 6 feet under, we can literally just teleport straight to the next area that we need to go to, which is going to be the Volcano Manor. But we do actually go get the Blue Dancer Charm from a cave in North Limgrave before doing so. And yeah, I really hate fighting the Godskins, and I don't know why, but Godskin Noble took me a fucking whopping 42 tries to kill him. 42 tries. But I do eventually succeed, and now we can just go to the audience chamber, and it's time to fight Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. Now, Rykard is actually the boss that took me the longest so far, taking me a grand total of 57 tries. However, the first thing we do when trying to fight him is obviously take the Serpent Hunter, teleport straight out of the arena, and go upgrade that shit to +6 so we can just do more damage, obviously. And yeah, the first phase, it was pretty easy to learn. And then the only problem was at the second phase, he just throws so much random shit at you that it gets really annoying to not die in it. But here is the full successful attempt of this boss. Let's fucking go! Oh my god, this guy was so annoying. Holy shit. There's just so much shit going on during the fight. My god, there's just so much going on. Like, I just randomly die to random garbage that he throws at me. Oh well. GG's. 4 out of 26. Now with that stupid ass snake dead, we can rest at a site of grace in his arena, and now we can teleport straight over back to Altus and run up to the entrance to Lane Dell. However, we all know what's standing before us, and that is the Draconic Tree Sentinel, and I have no words for this fight. I'm just gonna show you. We completely fucking demolished this boss. He couldn't even get... He got like one attack off, I think. Yeah, he died in like 4 hits. We got him on the second try. And now with Draconic Tree Sentinel dead, we can actually go into Lane Dell, and we can finally go get our weapon of choice, the Star Fists, which is literally, in my opinion, just a better version of the Iron Balls because it also has bleed buildup on top of its already great stats. And we go back to the Round Table Hold, attune it with the Heavy Crag Blade, and upgrade it to plus 13 before returning over to Lane Dell and fighting Piss Godfrey, which takes us, I think it was around 5 tries, since we also deal so much damage to him. So we then climb up the tree after defeating Piss Godfrey, rest at the site of grace right before Morgott's arena, and it is time for the 5th Remembrance boss of the base game, Morgott, the Fell Omen.
My King Morgott, last of all kings.
Anyways, once you get to Morgott, he is basically a skill check for the end of the game, and rightfully so, because he is definitely the hardest boss in the challenge so far because of just how fast his combos and attacks are. And he actually took me 73 tries, because when I did it in my first ever run, I kind of just was a bit over leveled, kind of just destroyed him. But yeah, I just figured out to bait out these like 3 specific attacks and just dodge everything else. It was a really slow fight. It took probably the longest out of any fight in the run. So yeah, here's the footage of the entire successful attempt.
Shall not be forgiven.
fucking go! Oh my god, let's fucking go. Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. That was definitely the hardest boss so far. Holy shit. After Morgott tells us that the gods of this world have basically forsaken all of us, and getting the ruled medallion from talking to Malenia, we actually do not go to the mountaintops of the giants just yet, as there are still some remembrance bosses we need to clean up from earlier in the game. Therefore, we head over to Mistwood and go down the giant crater that was created after killing Radahn, and head into Nokron, the Eternal City. After walking through Nokron, we come to the boss gate of the Mimic Tier, take off our weapons so he literally can't deal damage to us, kill the Mimic Tier, run across the giant bridge, and once we get to this area I forgot the name of, we light the 6 bonfires, walk over to the dead deer corpse, and we fight the boss that I love the most in this game aesthetically. I really like it, and it only takes us one try to kill the Ancestor spirit, but here is the footage of the full successful attempt. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that boss would be harder, but I just do so much damage that I melted him. I love the way this boss fight looks, man. Oh my god. Such a nice atmosphere. That part of the commentary in this video was extremely short, and the Hollow Knight soundtrack is absolute peak, so I'm going to keep using that song anyways. Either way, after killing the Regal Ancestor spirit, we head down to the bottom of Nokron to acquire the Fingerslayer blade, which is the item we need to basically finish Ranni's questline. And once we take it back to her in Liurnia, she gives us the inverted carrion statue, which we need to take to the Divine Tower in Liurnia, which completely flips the tower upside down, allowing us to even traverse it correctly. And once we reach the top, we can get the Curse Mark of Death that we need to unlock a new dialogue from Fia, where she gives us this dagger, and we give it to D, and once we reset the area, we find D dead, with Fia looming over him at the back of the round table hold. She tells us she wants to fuck a dead fish, disappears, and now we can go back to the once locked tower where Ranni is, take it down to the bottom, find cum jar sized Ranni in this coffin, traverse this area into Noxtella, which is just another eternal city, and then head this elevator, which takes us to this area with a lot of ants, where we can fight the Shadow of Blide, where we bait out this one attack over and over to kill him. Take another elevator down to Ohio, and once we get across this giant lake of rot, we take yet another coffin, and now we can finally start the fight with the next Remembrance boss in this run, Astel, Natural Born of the Void. Let's go, boys! Well, GG's, I guess. It's a lot easier than the other bosses I've fought so far. After killing Astel, we go back to Renalla to pick up the Dark Oath Ring and return to the Moonlight Altar to finally end off Ranni's questline by getting married to her and picking up our useless reward. Afterwards, we return back to Lane Dell and go up the Grand Lift of Rold to get a Grace in the mountaintops of the Giants so we can teleport back here later, and also pick up the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 3 so we can upgrade our weapon even more at the Round Table Hold. However, we actually are not going to finish this area as there is still one more Remembrance boss we need to do before going over to Fire Giant, and that is Lichdragon Fortisaxx. So we go back to Noxtella and start one of the boss fights I've been dreading for a while, the Valiant Gargoyles. However, that was before I realized that I did literally 25% of their health in one hit, so I kill them after like 9 tries and take down the coffin into the Deep Root depths. And after arriving in the Deep Root Depths, we go over to Fia's arena, where we need to fight Fia's champs, and this boss fight is complete dog shit, and especially at level 1, so I actually go get this hood that raises my arcane by a few levels, so I can go to the Dragon Communion Church in Caelid and pick up the Rotten Breath using the hearts I got from Grail earlier, and just run around as I rot all of them to death and kill them on like my second try. And now we can finally start our fight with Lichdragon Fortisaxx after Fia goes to sleep. Oh my god. Let's fucking go! Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I fucking hate that boss. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know why there was that small cut in footage, but as you saw, I was really hyped once I killed this boss, because he took me 68 tries to kill him, and that lightning effect he has is really fucking annoying. But either way, the next boss is Fire Giant, as we all know, and it is a straight shot there. We literally just teleport over to the mountaintops of the giants again, run past literally everything, buff up, and yeah, we try him about 3 times, get to the second phase, and then you know what I say to myself? This boss is fucking garbage. This boss sucks. So you know what I do? I just rot him to death in his second phase. I just fight him normally in the first phase, and as he's transforming and doing his long wind-up for the second phase attack, I just switch all my gear, rot him to death, and run around for 3 minutes to kill him. So yeah, here's the footage of that. Yeah, this boss can go fuck itself. Like, phase 2 of this boss, and I'm doing, like, no damage to him? Yeah, just fuck off. I'm just gonna Scarlet Rot him. Like, that would... Jesus. Alright, well, GG's. And it took me, like, 30 tries. Now, after succeeding in what took Overwatch streamer PGE over a fucking year to accomplish in, like, an hour, we can finally go to the giant forge of fire, and Malenia can literally kill herself for our sake, so we can get sent to the crumbling Farum Azula. And now we just run through the area, run through the white ancient dragon, And once we get to the door of the Godskin Duo, I completely forget that I don't have the recipe for sleep pots, because I'm not doing this fight normally at level 1. So I go back, get the recipe for sleep pots, buff up, and cheese the ever-living shit out of this fight, as every person who plays this game does, with the knowledge of doing so. So here is the footage of me cheesing the absolute shit out of the Godskin Duo. I fucking hate this boss, and I don't feel bad about cheesing it at all. Fuck you! This boss is dog shit! Boss is the worst boss in the game. Holy shit. GG's. Third try. Now, as you saw, our reward for killing that boss was the Smithing Stone Bell rank 4, so we go back to the Round Table Hold and quickly upgrade our weapon to plus 24 before returning to the Crumbling Farum Azula, and then we have to go through this worst run through in the game in my opinion, because these birds are so much faster than you and kill you, and it's very fucking annoying. So after we get past them, we can start our fight with the 10th Remembrance boss of the run, and personally one of my favorites, aesthetically again, Dragonlord Placidusax. I'm not gonna lie, the video I watched on telling me how to fight him made that fight so fucking easy. The first playthrough I ever fought him on, it took me like 200 tries, but that only took me 5 tries. Holy shit. That was actually just so easy. What the fuck? Well, 10 out of 15 base game bosses, 66%. As you heard me say, we are 10 out of 15 bosses into the base game Remembrances, and the last 5 are basically just a straight shot back to back with nothing in between them. So without further ado, let's move on to the 11th Remembrance boss, Maliketh, after killing the Draconic Tree Sentinel in front of his arena. Now, Maliketh is not an easy boss, and as it's been 2 years since I last fought him, it takes me around 87 tries to kill him this go round, with it taking like half of them just to learn the first phase, and me dying the other half in the second phase, but I do eventually succeed, and here is the footage of me succeeding in the 11th Remembrance boss. Let's fucking go! Oh my god! That shit took me like 87 tries! That was the fastest second phase ever. That stance break was so clutch. Now with Maliketh dead and Destined Death in our hands, we get teleported over to the Ashen Capital Lane Dell, take this elevator up to where Gideon is, kill him on my second try, the stupid int user, and now we can fight the boss with arguably the best soundtrack in the game in my opinion, Godfrey, the first Elden Lord.
Upon my name as Godfrey, the first Elden Lord.
Let's fucking go!
Nice drink.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Why did he take that long? He took longer than Maliketh? Because I just couldn't fucking handle his phase 2. Oh, thank fucking god. GG's. Now with Godfrey dead, we have access to the final boss in the game, but we do still have 2 Remembrance bosses left, and I think we all know who they are, Mohg and Malenia, and first we're going to fight Mohg, but since doing Vari's questline at level 1 this late in the game is impossible, we head over to the Consecrated Snowfields, where we lure this Sanguine Noble off a cliff who kills us in the process, but it then unlocks a teleporter over to the Mohgwyn Palace, where we just run through all these useless enemies, and we can start the fight with Mohg. But I do actually forget to go get Mohg Shackle, so we do go to the Langdale sewers and get Mohg Shackle before coming back and actually starting the fight this time. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what I did differently that fight compared to all the other tries. Because I wasn't able to one-cycle him before. I'm guessing I just got the headshots when he was down on the ground, because I actually just have no idea how I did that. Oh well, only 2 bosses left. As you saw from that absolute demolition, Mohg wasn't really a fight. I just got a one-cycle eventually after trying him a few times. But now with that, we only have Malenia and Rada Beast left, and the next is Malenia. So we go back and get the first half of the Haligtree Medallion, and then go over to Castle Sol and cheese the ever-living fuck out of Captain Nile with arrows through this little gap to get the other half, because I'm not fighting this stupid ass boss at level 1, and then do the dumbass puzzle at, I forgot the town's name, so we can finally get teleported over to the Haligtree, kill the actual Loretta on like my 4th try, run down to the bottom, and start probably the most annoying boss fight of this fucking run, because I thought it would be a great idea to subject myself to even more torture and make it so I had to parry all this boss's attacks. So we go get the Buckler Shield and then come back, and yeah, let me just tell you, this boss was making me lose my sanity, because Waterfowl is a stupid ass attack, so I thought of ways to try and not have to dodge it, and I figured out that you can actually use Frost Pots to stop her, but after using them twice, she builds up enough resistance to not be affected by it, so this fight was basically a race against the clock before she used 2 Waterfowls, and I don't know how many tries it took me, because I stopped counting after 150 tries, but here is the fruit of my labor and torture. This is the worst fucking boss in existence. This boss should not exist. I hate this fucking boss. Waterfowl Dance is dog shit. I can't with this boss. Thank fucking god it's over. Yeah, from my reaction to beating this boss finally, I think you can tell that I did not fucking enjoy fighting this boss. But now with Malenia dead, it's time for the final boss of the game. But before that, I wanted one last little damage buff, so I go get the red feathered branch sword, which is basically just RSTR or RTSR, and upgrade my weapon to the max. And now it's finally time to end off the challenge run with Rada Beast. There we go, boys. Elden Ring at level 1 without being good at the game. Oh, finally. With Elden Beast dead, we rest at the site of grace inside the Erd Tree, get Ranni's ending, watch the credits roll, go back to the round table hold, and we can see that we've killed all 15 major remembrance bosses in the game. And now that the challenge run is over, I just have one final message. As you guys have seen by the fact that I even made this video, I really love video games, and my dream is to one day turn playing video games, making videos, and eventually having a community on something like Twitch to talk to every day into a job. And I want that to be my reality. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. It would just help me out a lot. And with that, we go back to Mohg Palace, look at kindly Miquella's arm, and arrive at the gravesite plane for the next time we return to the Realm of Shadow.